Yo.
What up? What up?
What up? How's everybody doing today? As always, it is another episode of I.O.W. Sports. It's episode 240. The whole gang is here. Wildcard Mars in the building. Detroit Mel's in the building.
What up, though?
Big homie Nick Sean's in the building.
Hi, guys.
And as always,
that's better.
Y'all know the deal. Make sure y'all tap in with us. I.O.W. Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly on the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Let you know every time we go live and drop some content. Catch us on I.O.W. Sports 1 on Twitter. Y'all see under my name. Y'all can follow me there on Twitter as well. You can follow proud New York Jets fans with the big homie Nick Shine. Tap in with all that content that me and Detroit Mel and our homie MJ are dropping on the I.O.W. Sports YouTube channel. Give a shout out to Let's Talk Sports as we simulcast the Late Night Owl edition over there. So great partnership that we got with the Late Night Owl over there. And we also got a great partnership with our next guest coming in to help us do some more mocking of the draft.
Mock.
To mock the mock.
The mock. The one, the only, T to the I to the G-O. One of my favorite podcasters. I actually like enjoying and listening and chopping it up with this guy. The one, the only, Tigo.
What's up, Tigo?
What's up, gentlemen?
What up, though?
Long time no
bro?
talk.
How you doing today, man?
Doing
great. And as always, Tigo, please, before we get so deep into our conversation, drop where the people can find you, where they can find all your great content at, my man.
Yeah, obviously my channel right there, Talking Jets with Tigo. We do a lot of Jets centered content and all that stuff. And I'm starting to think about maybe branching into more NFL stuff. There's 32 teams in the NFL, and I'm a football fan first, and I love football and being able to talk. Like, again, with the draft, you can only get so far talking about just your team's draft needs, right? You can figure out your team's draft needs and the players that they're going to target in the first week, the second week after you've evaluated those guys. But there's 300 kids coming out. There's 31 other teams, and it's so interesting having those conversations. But yeah, Talking Jets with Tigo, Jets with Tigo on Twitter and on Instagram. That's where all my stuff is.
Nice. So I know that Tigo, you are in a time crunch, so let's not waste any more time. Big homie Nick, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm gonna let you and Tigo kind of take the reins on this one as we do another mock of the 2023 NFL draft.
So,
go ahead, homie.
Both of us kind of had some things going on today. We weren't able to spend as much time as we did on the last one. So to shorten the time on it, we decided to do no trades, and it's a predictive draft of what we think the team will do there, right? Okay. Because if we start doing predictive, it would take us 2 hours because a lot of teams would want to make moves, right? And then getting into that,
just that alone.
yeah, we could do a 2-hour show just with the trade negotiations. Trust me.
Right.
So you sent that to me on Twitter, right, Tigo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. Okay, so kicking it off with the first pick. Again, this is predictive, not what we would do. This is what we think will happen. All signs point to Carolina taking Bryce Young right now. He's the favorite with the odds.
That's wild to me.
I'm not in favor of it. You know my thoughts on him and his size and his limitations. And you look at Kyler Murray, and a couple years in, somebody who's a similar height. Murray is much more muscular than Young is. He's more stout, and he got injured.
What up, MJ?
I can't do it, but that's why the Panthers are the Panthers, right?
That's all that Tampa man Call of Duty.
Remember a couple years ago, the Darnold, Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Jackson and Rosen draft. Everybody thought it was Darnold. Some people thought it was Rosen. And then like 2:00 the day of round one, everyone's like, holy shit, it's going to be Baker Mayfield. So could we see something like that? They got Dalton in place. Could they change their mind at the last minute and go the Project Richardson or Stroud, who I think is the most NFL ready to hit the ground running? But The Panthers are the Panthers, so who knows? And I thought the way that city embraced and loved Cam Newton with his size and mobility and the red zone run threat, I thought they would eat up somebody like Anthony Richardson. I really, really did. I'm shocked by this. If this is what the rumors are now.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought that Anthony Richardson was really ever in the conversation for one. Not with Frank Reich there. Doesn't necessarily seem to be what Frank Reich would do. But to pass up on CJ Stroud or even Will Levis for Bryce Young, and I don't care about the 5'10. I care about the 95 pounds soaking wet. That's the problem. Dude, like these linebackers
95 pounds soaking
wet. Dude, he barely cracks 100 if he carries his entire offensive lineman's pads. Like you can't be that slight. Can you imagine?
No.
Tremaine Edmonds coming up the middle and hitting him in the dead square in the chest like that. And I'm just saying Tremaine because he's like 6'3". Nick knows this because this is the example I use all the time from last year. Matt Milano of the Buffalo Bills came running up the middle. The New York Jets offensive line blew the assignment, and he folded Mike White like a pancake.
He made his ribs into a V.
And Mike White is what, 6'4", 220 pounds?
6'5". He's big.
Is he? So like, say what? It gets worse.
Yeah.
He's 6'4". He's 6'4". He's 6'4", 220 pounds. I just looked it up. Like, dude, how are you going to break that? How are you going to like? And there's no way he's 204. That's an absolute lie that he's 204. He was measured 190 at the combine where he had nothing but time to stack up weight. Go find me a picture of him at Alabama on the field where you can tell me convincingly.
It says 204.
Where you can look at me convincingly and tell me he's over 190 pounds.
Yeah, I'm 270 on a good day. So I already know that Bryce Young hitting 200. That's being very generous. I'm 204.
I'm 5'11", 204, and I don't look like Bryce Young. Like,
just be quiet.
Very generous.
I'm just saying.
I'm 277, so Marv's about to be the fatty on the show in a few more days. The way I'm going. I was wondering who you had on because you could never pay me to wear somebody in the division. I figured it had to be him or Gates.
Well, I would never rock a Chargers jersey just to rock it. It had to be either LT or Antonio Gates. But still, I still got a Chiefs hat that matches it, so it don't matter.
Yeah, it's weird. Perplexing. You look like you lost a bet and you're paying it off right now.
Right.
Anyway, y'all move on with the mock, man. Come on, pick two.
We got to mock everybody, not just the draft. We got to mock each other. That's the dynamic of the show here, bro. All right, Tigo, fire away.
Houston's at 2, and I'm on it. I'm sold. I don't think they're going quarterback. I don't think they have to.
Wow.
And now with the Trey Lance story that he's coming out, you can sell a franchise on, we're going to use the Trey Lance experience for a year. And when that crashes and burns, as it should, you go out and you get Drake May or Caleb Williams. And in this year's draft, while I'm not super high on him, and I don't have him as the best edge in this class, he screams D'Amico Ryans. And he screams as a player that he would fall in love with. So number 2 overall, Will Anderson, you're a Houston Texan.
Nice. I'd just like to say that for the record, Mel is a player that I fell in love with.
He ain't a player. No. He just crush a lot.
Let's go to Mel. Mel, what do you think about this pick?
I heard this before, so I can't disagree with it. I think that Houston needs a quarterback. I think I would go quarterback route them because I don't like Davis Mills.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee to get Lance. So but as far as Will Anderson as a Houston Texan, I think that I agree. I think that Ryans would like him as a player, and he's getting all the hype next to Jalen Carter. He's getting all the hype, so I can see it.
Nice, Mark.
No, I mean, I'm still shocked that a lot of people are really going, non-quarterback for Houston. I'm with Mel at that point.
What up, man?
Come on, I can't rock with Davis Mills any longer than when I have to. I understand everybody's point on why you don't go quarterback because hey, I agree with your point. Nick has said it. Tigo's now saying it. I've heard Adam Schefter even kind of allude to it. It does make sense. You have a lot of
Vegas
problems
has him
on
as
the
the
Houston
favorite,
Texans
too.
that you need.
He's the favorite in Vegas right now for the second pick.
You got a lot of issues you got to fix in the Houston Texans organization. But if you're not going to get a quarterback, come on now. Will Anderson is not a bad pickup.
No, and I fully believe if I'm the Texans, Tigo mentioned it with the quarterbacks next year. You have 2 and you have 12. Build the
Caleb
most
Williams.
outstanding roster that you can. And then you have more ammunition from the Watson trade where if you need to go up to number 1 next year, you can do it.
You make
and
that
you
move.
also put your quarterback in a position to come to a team with talent and
better
succeed.
position.
If you end up with Will Anderson,
You're right.
Jackson Smith-Njigba at 12, any quarterback is going to get better because your pass rush is better. You're going to get off the field sooner, and now you got another weapon because you got rid of everybody.
My other thing is, I think 2 should be for sale. I think the Texans should trade out of 2.
Oh, it's definitely for sale. So they're definitely taking calls.
That's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
If you're not taking a quarterback, sell it. Imagine getting another one in next year's draft.
Yeah. And now if you do something stupid like win 6, 7, 8 games, you can go get Williams and overpay for it because you're going to be loaded.
Next year's number 1 overall pick, I
Loaded
think
with draft
unanimously
picks.
we can all agree is going to be the Arizona Cardinals.
Caleb
They're
Williams.
a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're not going to win any games.
You never know with injuries.
Yeah, the quarterback's not playing this year, probably. Like, they're a dumpster
Yeah,
fire.
but Kyler Murray might miss half of the season, bro.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Kyler Murray's
That's what he's saying. He's missing
year.
the season. They might not win.
What games are the Cardinals winning with that team? They're going to get rid of D-Hop. They're going to get rid of Buddha. Like, they just lost JJ. They don't have a single piece outside of those 3 guys that matters. Go and lose a ton of games.
Yeah.
It's a game for the cheerleaders.
Worst case scenario, the
Was
number 1 overall
Crash
pick
for
will be for sale
Caleb?
next
The hashtag Crash for Caleb is going to start soon. We had Suck for Sam. Now it's Crash for Caleb. Speaking of Cardinals,
I think that spells trouble for Kyler Murray, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
This might be a wild take, but I know the contract just happened before this past season, but injury after injury, you keep coming up short at the end of the season. I'm not saying they're going to rework his deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if they shopped him around and took the best return. I wouldn't be surprised.
And you have to, right?
Who will take?
They can't do it yet. That's the problem.
No, you do it on the clock because that's when everyone will know.
No. I'm saying they can't do it this year or next year.
You got
they
don't have no
$96 million dead cap.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And not only that though, you got. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and next year it's $81 million. The earliest you can move on from him is in 2025.
Right.
So Tigo, what you're pretty much telling me is Kyler Murray is just Russell Wilson in Arizona.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Literally,
sounds about right.
His contract is way too big. You can't get out from under it, like at all. And you have to, like, I think this is why they brought Gannon in, because of the fact that, like, hopefully he can recreate that number 1 defense that Philly had in there, and they're just going to win games off of the back of their defense because you can't really trust Kyler to go out there and to do much.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is Kyler does have the tools to be a good quarterback. His size is his negative. That's his downfall. But like as in throwing ability, running ability, like he's a weapon on offense. The guy's body is not allowing him to be top tier quarterback right now. It's just not. Anyway, go ahead, Nick or Tigo. Who we at? Pick 3. Arizona.
3 Cardinals to me. We switched last time. He did odds, I did even, so we switched it up not to have the same teams. So with the Cardinals being the dumpster fire that they are, they got to bring in quality players and quality people. And I can't see them. If they were a win now team, I mean, they wouldn't be picking number 3, right? But if they were a win now situation and you had someone like J.J. Watt still there to mentor Carter, you bring in Carter, right? No questions asked, because you have the leadership in the D-line room to mold him as a rookie. I can't do it like that. But I don't think the Cardinals will either. So my prediction for the Cardinals pick is that if they keep, I believe they're big sellers, but like we said, no trades in this. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Murray, Anthony, I compared Murray to Young, that he didn't hold up either with the number one pick, but this is what we think the teams will do, not what we would do. So number 3, I'm going my favorite player in the draft. I'm going Tyree Wilson, the edge from Texas Tech. You get a quality person, you get a quality player. He fits that JJ mold, that big, strong edge setter. He can rush, he can convert speed to power. He might not be, a lot of edge guys don't hit the floor running. Not everyone comes out like Parsons, where they're throwing up double-digit sacks instantly. Right. But I think long-term, this is the best player in this draft on either side of the ball. 10 years from now, this is Tyree Wilson's draft.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but this is one of those picks where you make it to win in 3 years, not this.
But my heart won't
hold
up, so I won't be in here 10 years for you to critique me. So I'm good.
I just look at it and I go, Tyree Wilson is a freak athlete, and like you said, he's gonna take some time to get used to that NFL game. Yeah. And years 1 and 2 of his career are gonna be bumpy. The year 3, when he explodes onto the scene, is right around when you get out from underneath the Kyler Murray, and you're drafting your new quarterback.
And you have time to build around him, like we did with Quinnen, right? Quinnen exploded in year 3 and was talked about Defensive Player of the Year because they finally got the other pieces around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Number 4, the Indianapolis Colts. And I know this is going to surprise a lot of people, but the second quarterback taken off the board goes to the Indianapolis Colts, and it's Will Levis. I think that the Indianapolis Colts have zeroed in on this guy, his athleticism, and what he can do. And Steichen being a offensive guru is what he's being put at. He is, of the guys that are ready to play, like right now, of the quarterbacks that are left, gives you the highest ceiling. And if you're Steichen, you go get that guy. Don't forget, they got Jonathan Taylor out there to help him out. They got a pretty high second-round pick. They can go get a tight end to help him out. There's a lot of things that they can do to help Will Levis.
Okay.
And Pittman's not a schmuck or anything like that either. So Will Levis to the Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, Tigo, I'm gonna ask you a question. Just a quick question with the Colts. I'm actually surprised you didn't go Anthony Richardson. And the only reason why I say that is because you look at Shane Steichen, just went to a Super Bowl with a RPO quarterback in Jalen Hurts. So why not get a RPO style type quarterback like Jalen Hurts?
Because Jalen Hurts was more polished as a passer than what Anthony Richardson is right now. Coming out of college, they were very similar players, right? Mm-hmm. RPO guys, crazy athletic with their legs. That's how they win their games. And then you add Anthony Richardson has a howitzer on his right arm, but he's not as polished as he could be. And Jalen Hurts, remember, he sat behind Carson for a year. He played last year. He's had time to sit with this staff and really develop as a passer. And we saw all of that culminate this year. Anthony Richardson, as much as I love this kid, needs a year or two for that polish to happen. And they don't have a.
He's only started 11 to 12 or 13 games around there. So, exactly. You're right. Okay.
And I don't.
That's why I asked the question. That's why.
Exactly. And that's why. That's why I took.
Okay. Fair.
3-year starter at Kentucky.
Fair. And actually, I actually like the fact that giving Will Levis some credit is because here's one thing about Will Levis that I think a lot of people are missing, especially his past year. The talent is still there. The only problem is he had little to nothing around him in Kentucky to actually let him flourish his talent. So it wasn't like he was just,
I've been saying that exact same thing, man. No. I've been saying this exact same thing. If you put Will Levis on Bama, if you put Will Levis at Ohio State, oh my God, he's by far and away the number one pick. Like,
hi, Smitty. Yeah, just say hi to Mel and Nick. What's and up? Just fuck me and Tigo, I guess, huh? That's what we doing, Smitty?
Just you.
Oh, fuck you, Smitty. Anyway.
All right, Nick.
Next pick.
So a lot of people have had Seattle taking Jalen Carter or one of the defensive linemen.
Mhm.
But I think in this situation with the roster that they have, and if the board falls like this to them, I think that they have to take Anthony Richardson. You put him behind Geno. He doesn't have to play right away. You still have the number 20 pick where you can add.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say? Wait, hold on. Did you just say Anthony Richardson to the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I've heard that before. I heard that take before too.
Geno's contract, you can get out after year 2. And let's be real. This isn't a Geno thing. This is an NFL quarterback thing.
Mhm.
Not many guys 10 years in become Rich Gannon and become great all of a sudden and consistent for the rest of their careers and play at a Pro Bowl level. It's sometimes a flash in the pan. Fitzpatrick had a great year with the Jets and then was nowhere ever near that again. Now, Geno had a fantastic year, but he's never done it before. So if you're the Seahawks and you have a quarterback that you can use as a project to sit behind Geno, who is a first class like character also, he will embrace the role of being the guy. Somebody asked him about his struggles the last couple of years and bouncing around from team to team, and I'll never forget his response. He's like, I've never complained one day about it because my worst days are the dreams that people have of being their best days. So like that's his mindset, like on life and the outlook. I want him mentoring my future quarterback. And then you can use him with Kenneth Walker in the RPO. You can create a package for him like we said with other teams and then slowly bring him along with the passing attack. So I think if you're Seattle, you have a very good roster. You're not going to be picking 5 very often, right? This is a blessing that you got this pick. So if you can get a franchise quarterback and still be competitive without having to force to play him, I think you do it, especially with 2 number 1s.
Okay.
Oh, I like that, man. I look at it too. You look at Geno's contract. He gets most of his money in that first year. You don't see a lot of that happen.
1-year deal.
You don't see a lot of that happen. So it's kind of like they want to make moves. And then you look at how they've been kind of in love with Richardson, and them talking about how they like Richardson, how they like to take players like Richardson on their team. So I think that's a great pick.
If Russell Wilson was Anthony Richardson's size, he would still be there.
Right.
His body would hold up better. He would be able to take the beating, and he would have never got traded. He would have been a Hawk for life.
And a better attitude.
You're definitely the better attitude part. I think that's what got him out.
Winning solves attitude problems. I'll say that.
Oh, it solves a lot of problems.
If they were winning more, I don't
and
think
adversity
we ever
reveals
hear
it, right? Adversity reveals attitude. That's another form of AA. Adversity attitude.
Like it's one of those things where it's just like we all knew that Brady was a jerk. We didn't know how big of a jerk until New England started playing like ass.
Right.
And then he goes to Tampa and they start winning, and Brady's a saint again. And then Tampa starts losing, and he's back to being a jerk.
He's a jerk again.
It's winning. Winning solves
always
the problem.
been a jerk to me.
I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for it. Tigo next pick.
He's always been a jerk to me. So.
Yeah, the fall stops Jalen Carter to Detroit. Do I even really have to talk about this pick? He's by far and away the best player in this draft. Detroit needs an interior defensive lineman. Take the best player. Done.
Yeah. Mel, your team?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I saw something today. I think it was Bleacher Report or one of them damn apps, and it was talking about how he had a good meeting with him today. So it looks like they might take him. It falls to him. At first, they were talking about not taking him. I don't know what he said or what happened, but Brad Holmes seemed to be positive on him now, so they might take him.
Hey, believe half of what you hear.
True.
Probably even less than that, because at the end of the day, when you look at Jalen Carter, despite people want to say, "Oh man, the incident that he had after the parade," okay, that's fine. You can have your thoughts, you can have your feelings, but if he's not charged with anything, he's not under arrest for anything. Trust me, NFL GMs are going to be like, "Well, he's a free guy. He's free to play. Get him on my roster." You're not going to ignore the production. But I'm saying you're not going to ignore the
I
production
understand
at
what
the
you're saying, but for Detroit, they wasn't really talking about the incident, but they was talking about the character fit. And some of the things
as in the fit of the scheme.
Yeah, some of the stuff they heard from like doing that, go and talk to the other teammates, stuff like that. It was kind of more talking about that than it was talking about the incident. Because Brad Holmes kind of like gave him a positive thing. He said, when I was his age, I did stupid stuff too. So he wasn't really talking about the incident itself per se.
Which one of us was millionaires at 18, 19 years old on the biggest stage in college football? Like, come on. To expect him to act and be like an adult. And like the thing is there's a difference from, okay, you're an idiot and you're doing something stupid, and while you were doing something stupid, something happened that's related to what you were doing, but not caused by you. That's the thing that people need to remember. He was also driving really, really fast. He didn't hit the other car. He didn't do any of those things. And it's not me trying to come up with an excuse for the kid, but the reality is, dude, at 19, I was racing my little Mazda 3 on the streets as well. Like I was dumb as crap.
I had a hatchback two-door Ford Focus.
I got a WRX now, and if my kid's not in the car, I'm dropping that thing to 120 before quick. Like it's one of those things where it's just like everybody's a freaking idiot. You can't ignore this kid's production and just how freaking good he is. He's the number 1 pick in last year's draft if they let him come out.
I hear you. Nikki, go ahead. Next pick.
I mean, the Raiders can't pass this up, right?
Get rid of Josh.
Yeah, they drafted a new coach. They bring John Madden back. They take C.J. Stroud. Stroud falls to them. There's talks about teams moving up, but with no trades in this, Stroud falls to 7, and I think the Raiders are happy. Again, it's a guy that you can put behind Garoppolo. Garoppolo's had this situation before. Garoppolo doesn't stay healthy. Garoppolo was a starter. Lance got some burn. Then he got injured. It's you are gonna play if you're behind Jimmy Garoppolo in the depth chart. Like there's no buts about it. So I think McDaniels gets a young
CJ's
quarterback.
Ready, CJ be ready.
Yeah.
That's my thing. This is why I can't really get behind this pick, is because CJ is ready. Right. Like if Will Levis was here and they took Levis should probably sit for a year. If they took AR needs to sit for 2 years.
Yeah.
But to take the guy who's like, he might win the job straight up out of camp. Like he might just beat Jimmy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And so, yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, but Tigo, look, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. But I'm looking at the business side. The Raiders sitting $25 million a year, and Jimmy G on the bench for a rookie.
That's why I don't think they make this pick. I'm using that as the argument for why I don't think this is the pick that they go. Because
Jimmy's not Brady. Okay. Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy can get hurt before week 1.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if he falls, I would rather insert CJ Stroud because of injury. Well, that's why I agree with you, Nick. I'd rather insert CJ Stroud because of injury, not because
he wins it, right? If they stay,
but what I'm saying is, but still, you just don't give the job to CJ Stroud and sit $25 million guaranteed.
No, I'm not saying
for this first year sitting on the bench.
No, let there be a competition, declare the winner.
Josh McDaniels.
And then if Jimmy G plays, you're gonna play. There's no way Jimmy G is making every snap. You're gonna get burn time.
Mel makes a great point. We're talking we're talking about logic here, and they don't have a logical head coach, right?
Right.
Like, front office.
That's the thing.
That's it right there.
Like we're making a lot of points that logically make sense in people's brains. Is Josh McDaniels? We really think he's that smart to do those things? The second team that he's been to, and
I would go in no
decade.
No, Bob.
Again?
I'll take no for 500.
Well, technically, it'd be 3 if he didn't be a sissy. Not anyway.
Yeah, because he left. Right, he took the Indy job, and then a bunch of people went to Indy, and then he was like, "No, I'm going back."
Yeah, I'm going back to Bill. Anyway. Tigo, you're up next at Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's at 8, and they just take Devin Witherspoon. Yeah. I think he's going to be considered the best corner in the draft by a lot of people. AJ Terrell needs help. AJ Terrell needs some type of help in that secondary. and they've invested a ton of assets.
AJ
They
Terrell
went
gets
out-
lost on good corners. He gets lost in the shuffle of good corners because he's in Atlanta, and there's nobody else in the secondary. So,
But that's what I'm saying.
you're not
Imagine
building
this
around.
year. Now
No
they got
knows.
Jesse Bates. They went and they signed another safety as well. You add, they traded for Okuda for nothing. You add, and let's be honest,
Bag of chips and
Okuda's
pack annihilators.
but you add Witherspoon out there. Now that secondary is legit. Secondary is really legit. So I think
like
Devin Witherspoon.
I like it.
You're an
Yeah, I
Atlanta
wouldn't
Falcon.
even pay the juice box shaped like a barrel. Remember where you peel off
Yeah,
the top? They were like
barrel
25 cents. I wouldn't pay a barrel juice for
All right,
it.
Nick.
But you can't rely on
I go at
so
9.
9 is an easy pick. I think the Bears, they wanted offensive line all along. They moved back to 9. It falls to them, and they have their choice. You know, I was torn between this guy and the next guy picked, but being from Northwestern, right in there, having the versatility to play inside or outside allows them to maybe next year take whoever's best and then move him if need be. And I got Peter Skoronski from Northwestern.
No brainer. Keep it moving.
Plug and play.
You need
Was
to
the
keep
best
Justin
blocker in college football
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
It's no brainer. You got to build that up.
Yeah.
You made the trade to get
Yeah,
DJ Moore, so you don't need a weapon as bad as you did.
Yep.
You know, I think Mooney's a good number 2 if with more there.
Or
So-
Claypool could be him and Claypool could switch at 2 or 3. I think
And you have Claypool.
if you
so
ask me.
you have legit 3
Yeah.
receivers now, right? You put Mooney in the
Right.
slot, and then you got more, and more can play in there.
Is Cole Kmet still there at tight end? Is Cole
Yes.
Kmet still there at tight end?
Yeah. Who was great?
got a solid
with
tight
Fields
end.
down the end. Yeah, and they got.
You got a solid tight end.
Oh my God, my mind just went blank. Not Montgomery.
Who
Who's
did they bring in? They brought in a running back.
the speedy guy who got hurt in the middle of the year last year?
Tyreek?
No, the running back. It'll pop to me. Tigo will pull it up. I know he's looking to the right. That's his Google page. We did
Dante
trivia.
Foreman and Khalil Herbert.
Herbert, that's
Okay.
who it was. So you got some nice weapons. Build the damn line so Fields can be the passer that I think he
Yeah,
is.
who that?
And it kills me because I wanted Fields in that draft and not Zach. So
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
it's
but
gonna
look,
be fun to watch him develop this year.
I think it's safe to say that pick 9 is the no-brainer pick of this whole draft. So,
See, I disagree.
Tigo,
I
let's
don't
go,
think they're going offensive line. I think they're going defensive line. They've invested a ton of money.
so you're
and
just
a
going to
ton of
keep
assets.
letting Justin Fields just run around. Just keep letting him run around, huh?
But they went out and they signed a bunch of people to the offensive line. That's the thing. We're forgetting about free agency. They went out and they addressed the offensive line. They went out and they got a guard. Tevin Jenkins played tackle and guard last year. So if you're the Bears, you can get a guard in the second round. But you're not going to get a guy who's as good as, let's say, Lucas Van Ness or Kalijah Cansey in the second round. And the Bears lost games last year, not because the offense wasn't good, it's because the defense couldn't stop a beach ball.
That is
They
true.
were scoring 30 points,
you
but
that.
that doesn't matter when they're getting scored, when they're 40 or 50 is being dropped on them every week. And that's why I think
True.
they're going to go defense.
But well, you do bring up a
Give me
good
a second,
point
give me a
because
second. Sorry.
Okay.
because like in the middle of the season, Chicago was trading away all their defense. Robert Quinn, Khalil Mack at the beginning of the season,
Right.
Rohan Smith, he got traded. Their star middle linebacker, he's gone. So I mean, you're at a certain extent, you're pretty much retooling what you already left out the building.
Mm-hmm.
And so now this is the point that you maybe add a little bit more, possibly.
They could. But that's why I think the player with flexibility helps them.
Let me ask you this though, Nick. Well, why not take Osiris Torrance or Paris Johnson?
Because Skoronski was the best pass blocker in all of college football last year.
Okay.
I know he's got the short arms, and a lot of people think in the NFL he's better suited for guard. But he played tackle, and he was the best tackle in college football last year, and he plays in a good conference. So no knock on Paris. And they might take Paris Johnson, But I just think that according to everyone that I'm seeing and saying and what I'm reading and what you see the people doing on their mocks, Skoronski's the first guy off the board 75% of the time.
Okay.
I feel you.
Give him a second. I'll read his pick. Yeah, I'll read. Let me pull it up.
No. How about this? Go to your next pick, and then we'll just have Tigo go back to back. So he'll do 10 and 12, and you do. Why don't you do Tennessee?
Yeah, we'll probably take a minute to talk about Tennessee. Go ahead and do Tennessee.
All right.
Go ahead and do Tennessee, and then possibly you got the Jets, so we can do that. We can sit on that until he gets back.
Okay. So Eagles would be a 10. The Titans are up at 11, and the Titans need a lot. They're clearing house. They had the opportunity to take the best wide receiver on the board. I got them taking Jackson Smith and Njigba from Ohio State. They drafted kid from Arkansas last year, Treylon Burks. Yeah,
Treylon Burks.
So now you're getting two weapons. You got to have guys who can be a threat so they don't cloud the box for Derrick Henry, who as of now is still a Titan. There's stories that he one of the vets traded next week. So I got them taking the Smith and Njigba. I'm sorry. So you got to build something, and then if you're gonna move on from Tannehill, at least you got a place where you could be a quarterback destination because you have a lot of good young talent at wide receiver.
Right.
So, but I mean, they have a lot of needs. They were a team that went for it, never became credible, and he's back and gone. So I think it's an easy pick for them.
Yeah.
Especially after you find out who this pick was. So go
ahead. I gotta touch it. Go ahead.
So I skipped ahead and read number 11 with Smith and Njigba for Titans, and I'm not. Mel and Mari, you can imagine how petrified I am reading the name Njigba because I don't want to mispronounce or missay that word. I'm very slow when I say
it all the time.
Jackson Smith Njigba.
Hey, because
I over enunciate.
Because it's 420, like that is hilarious in my mind, bro. I just didn't laugh. We're such a family show. It's okay, Tigo, man. I love it. You know, my kids run in on me all the time.
He got like 5
kids. It's more he's having some booty problems, and so he was freaking out when my wife was changing.
Don't say that. Leave it alone, Nick. Leave it alone, Nick.
It's the perfect show to discuss that. Now take the floor.
Anyway, no, to bring this train back on board before y'all chill out.
That's how we get a family show.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if he talked about it,
show is
but
not
the
a family
Eagles
show.
took.
Yeah, no, we skipped ahead to let you give the Eagle pick. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Eagles took Paris Johnson Jr.
Okay. Yeah.
We know what Howie Roseman does and how he builds teams. Right, it's in the trenches. They just lost Isaac Swemelu, or however you pronounce his last name, to the Steelers. And Lane Johnson is 1,000,000 years old, going on 1,000,000,000 years old, right? And Paris Johnson is a guy who can immediately come in and play right guard where Swemelu played last year, and then next year or the year after or whenever in the next year or two, Lane Johnson leaves, or more realistically, whenever Lane Johnson gets hurt, you can bump Harris outside because they have Cam Jurgens there still.
Right.
You know? And so for me, I think that this was an easy pick for the Eagles. Build in the trenches like Howie does, and that's what I think they'll do.
Real quick before you give the Houston Texans number 12 pick, Tigo, I want to ask both you and Nick this question. Do you think at some point in time that the Eagles going to get a center? Because at some point, I think you got to start getting more and more realistic that you got to replace Jason Kelce at least within the next year or so. Do they address it in this draft, or do they wait till next year?
They did last year.
Tigo. Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, they got Cam Jurgens, the kid out
Okay.
of
My fault. My fault.
forget what school he went to, but yeah, he's there, and obviously, like, you're not going to replace Kelsey. Like, he was arguably the second best center in football last year.
And
You
didn't
know, and
Landon
so
Dickerson play center at Alabama too? Landon Dickerson was a center at Alabama. I thought also they drafted him and moved him to guard. So a lot of people think he might, since he's been the guard next to Kelsey, he might slide over and take over. So they got some flexibility. I don't think they have to panic on a center. They got Dickerson would be a natural transition.
yeah, Dickerson. I think he stays at left guard because he was so good at left guard. I really think that Cam Jurgens out of Nebraska, that's where he was. I think he's the heir apparent. I think that like they were ready, and if you looked at all the depth charts before Kelsey decided to come back, he was on the depth charts as the center. I think that Jurgens is the guy.
Fair enough. All right, go ahead. Tigo, peak 12, Houston Texans.
Well, Houston passed up on a quarterback in the first round to take the edge, and they do it again. They run it back up to the board, and they get they have my second favorite edge in this class, and they're taking him at 12, and that's Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. Kid can play on the inside, can play on the outside, and he has Robert Saleh / D'Amico Ryans written all over him. Kid's crazy athletic, crazy, just he is as close to a freak at football that you can get without being named Nolan Smith, right? Like that's what this kid is. He is absolutely insane. And D'Amico's a defensive guy. And again, this is one of those picks you can sell to the fan base and be like, this is a defensive head coach. We're going to get him as defensive guys. Yeah. And you can still lose a bunch of games and go get a guy next year.
Yeah, he's like that Justin Tuck, J.J. Watt. He can excel inside or outside. That type where you can just put him on the field. I do.
Hey, yo. Anyway, Nick, I think you kind of swayed this to make sure you get the pick of your beloved Jets team. But go ahead, pick 13. Yeah, I know, Tigo. I know.
Oh yeah.
With Paris and Pete gone, I mean, the Jets, they got Becton, who nobody thinks they're going to pick up his fifth-year option. Or it's not picked up, right? They got Dwayne Brown, who is 30,000 years old. They had Max Mitchell.
So you will be 29,999, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we came up together. I got them taking a guy who's flying up the boards and might very well be the first tackle taken. If there's a tell with the Jets, and we'll pick up the speed after the Jets until we get to like our team's picks after this. If there's a tell with Joe Douglas, it's the RAS score, the athletic score, right? And this guy's the highest rated athleticism for an offensive lineman. It's Darnell Wright from Tennessee, and you can bring him in, plug him in. I think day one, people are saying, "Oh, you got Brown. Brown's a star." Listen, Brown is meant to be a backup. Brown wasn't signed last year. That's why you were able to sign him in August when Becton got hurt, because nobody viewed him as a starter. You had some injuries and you had the emergency, and then he came in. So I don't think you're building your offensive line and writing Dwayne Brown's name in Sharpie. Could Brown win it? Yes. But I think you need to start having some pieces on this line with Vera Tucker that are long-term answers. You can't keep living in free agency and overpaying for guys on the line. You paid $9 million a year for the center McGovern. You're paying $15 million or more a year for Tomlinson. You got to start getting guys who got good contracts and are outstanding players. And I just think that, this is somebody who, and I'm going to throw this one out there for Matt, could be related to Dickerson and come in and play immediately.
You just had to throw that in there, huh?
I read it again, so I was like, let me throw Matt one more.
Good job, Nick.
Anyway, Tigo 14, your beloved New England Patriots.
I hate the fact that Nick made this pick and it was Darnell Wright because one, it wouldn't be the tackle that I would take, especially with Broderick Jones on. Broderick Jones has Robert Saleh written all over him, and after hearing the comments that Todd McShay made about the New York Jets, and if anybody's going to know anything about the New York Jets, I think this is the guy that ultimately, if he's here, New England is taking him. and that's Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones is going to New England here at 14. They need the tackle. Broderick Jones, I think, is one of the most athletic guys in this draft when it comes to the tackle position. And I don't care that he only played 16 games. He was on Georgia the whole time. Dude, Georgia's practice squad is better than most Power 5 schools in the country. You know, like, let's be real. The backups at Georgia,
their backups
probably,
are a top 25 team in the country.
Right.
Yeah. Like, let's be
No
real.
joke.
The only position that Georgia has a hard time recruiting for some reason is quarterback. But who cares when you've got defenses that you can run it back and back and back and back and back. Like, it's one of those things where Broderick Jones, he's tackle one on my board. I love Broderick Jones and what he can do, and him going to New England makes too much sense. He can play inside, outside. He can do whatever it is that you want. And the guy comes from a program that just produces workhorses. They just work hard.
So 15 the Packers have.
Nick,
This is where I see a fall off in talent after Jones and Wright are off the board. And I could see the Packers moving down. I don't think there's a wide receiver worth taking here, and but they need help at several places, right? Like, they're another team that went for it, and I believe Rodgers is like Peyton Manning. His level of play was so good that he masked a lot of issues that you have on your team, and now this team is going to get exposed. So I got them building with a nice nucleus in the middle of the defense. I got them taking Kalijah Cansey, the D lineman from Pittsburgh. You can plug and play him from day one. He's explosive. He gets off the line. He'll make plays in the run game, and then he can dominate in the pass from an interior. I mean, you're looking at like a Quinnen Williams type, in my opinion, quicker than Quinnen too. Quinnen is more powerful.
Hey, put him next to Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
Put him right next to Rashawn Gary.
Yeah. You can never have too many guys.
You literally got one side of your defensive line you got to worry about.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do what?
You can never have too many guys that hit the quarterback. So if you bring him in, you could say, "Oh, we have a greater need." Yeah, but listen, our offense will have more opportunities when we have a guy like this in the middle of the defense.
And it follows that mold of what
Obviously, they're not going quarterback.
They need to go quarterback.
Yeah, but you're not taking a quarterback here. There's nobody worth taking.
Just saying.
They're gonna run it with Love, whether they want to or not. It makes
they'll sink or
makes
swim with Love this year.
Yeah, like it makes too much sense to go with Love because
You need to trade for Tannehill.
If they're bad, it gets better for them to be bad.
You trolling right now. You are absolutely trolling right now.
It makes more sense for them to be bad and then to be able to move up. This is why I think this is the sticking point and why they want the Jets' first-round pick for Rodgers next year, because I think they know that they don't believe in Jordan Love. And next year's
I don't
draft,
believe in Jordan Love.
I don't either, but that doesn't, that's why I think they're so gung-ho on it. And this is a great way for Gutekunst to stay on brand. Gutekunst doesn't take offensive players in the first round. If you look at every single one of his drafts, I don't think he's taken a single offensive player in the first round. This is a great way to stay on brand.
Rodgers makes stars out of everybody.
Right.
Exactly. So I love this pick. Washington's on the board, and they take Dalton
16.
Kincaid. They have a ton of needs, but there's no guard I feel comfortable here. Right here, this is way too high for Osiris Torrance, in my opinion, or Steve Avila, who's my number one guard on my board. And it's just with Peter Skoronski gone, which is the player that they hope somehow makes it here, but he never will. If that's the case, you're just, all right, let's just take the best player on the board. And I think at that point in time, with Nolan Smith not being a scheme fit, Dalton Kincaid makes a ton of sense. And they need a tight end. And, let's help Sam Howell.
Yep. All right. Pittsburgh still at 17, Nick.
Somebody who probably won't be this far. I think someone will move up and trade. If this player is here 11, 12. I could even see the Jets doing a trade back for somebody to come up and maybe get a player like this ahead of the Patriots. It's Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback from Oregon. Pittsburgh has a good front. They're always getting after the quarterback. They got Watt and I forget the guy on the other side of the line. You got Fitzpatrick on the back end of the defense. Go get an elite cornerback, man, and Pittsburgh does what Pittsburgh does best, right? Play defense. So I think they have to make that defense better in the AFC if they're going to be amongst the big dogs, because they have to be able to cover everybody. If they can cover with that pass rush, now you're talking Steeler football, right?
Yeah. Pass rush and coverage. That's what they do. That's been the motto.
And you know that they're invested in it because they went out and signed 2.5 million-year-old Patrick Peterson, who's somehow still in the league playing corner at a high level. Makes no sense.
He played safety a lot though for the Vikings last year. He would line up in corner in like 3 wide receiver sets, but he was playing both last year.
According to his snap counts, he played free safety once all of last year. He
Really?
lined up outside wide at corner for almost every single one of his snaps.
He had an interception in the end zone when he was lined up as safety. I thought in the Buffalo game, he picked off Josh Allen in the end zone.
Probably playing a deep zone.
Yeah. But Patrick Peterson in man coverage, he is no longer a man coverage corner anymore.
No.
Not
doesn't have the speed for it.
No. So no.
Which makes sense.
He's definitely his own coverage corner.
But you also want him mentoring Gonzalez, right? He's a very experienced seasoned vet, so
that's the whole point, right? Is like,
well, that's what you're
paying him for a little bit of his knowledge and a little bit of his play.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge. Yeah. Tigo 18, Detroit Lions.
Lions took the best player in the draft at 6, and at 18 they replace Okudah and they go Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Joey Porter because Witherspoon and Gonzalez are so good. I have Joey Porter not that far away from those guys in my rankings. The Lions need a corner. I was almost tempted to go wide receiver here, but I don't know if you pull the trigger on a first-round wide receiver after having St. Brown being lethal in the slot and taking a first-round wide receiver last year, who obviously didn't play much, but when he finally got on the field, boy, was he electric. Forget his name.
J-Mo.
There it is, Jameson.
J-Mo. All right, 19, Tampa Bay, Nick.
I mean, they don't have a quarterback. I don't see that. I would be shocked if they traded up. I don't see that. Maybe if like Stroud slides to 7, they could be a team that flies up that you don't expect, and there's been no talk about because it's been very buttoned up down in Tampa what their plans are. But at 19, they got Godwin, they got Evans. They had the rookie running back last year who looks like he's going to step up into a big role. I got them taking Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame. He can block, he can catch, he can do everything. They had Gronk. They got Brate, however you say his name. Yeah. They got guys who are backup tight ends. This guy comes in and can be an impactful player from day one.
Honestly, he might be their starting right tackle. That's how
well he blocks.
They are at the offensive line. But this is another one of those picks that I've said it
every time he's in, he's going to have to register as an eligible lineman.
Yeah.
That's how well he blocks.
It's one of those things where I've said this for a couple of different teams in this draft, but it makes sense for them. You can sell a fan base on Baker. They're still dealing with the hangover of winning a Super Bowl, which lasts a couple years.
Yeah.
Michael Mayer is not a win now move. They shouldn't be making win now moves. They should be let's lose games right now moves. And that's exactly what Michael Mayer kind of a pick is. He is tight end 1 on my board. I love Michael Mayer, but in 3 years, when Michael Mayer is on a team that has Drake May and a rebuilt offensive line and insert whatever 4th round running back is coming in and blowing up the league because that always happens. And they finally fire Bulls and they get a real head coach in there. Now you've got a team that can be competitive again, especially in the NFC.
Or if they just promoted Leftwich like they should have the last round.
Yeah.
Tigo, Seattle in 20.
Seattle gets this has to stop the fall. This kid should be a top 15 pick. And he almost went to New England, like honestly. But I couldn't do that in my heart of hearts. to Nick or to myself, but also because I think the
Thank you.
offensive
Appreciate
line
it.
is what they need. But Nolan Smith to New England is you just find a place to play him. He's that good. Just figure it.
Yeah.
You want him at corner? He could probably play corner. He's fast enough to play corner. You need a free safety. Go put him back there. You need a linebacker. Go put him there. You need him in the on the line. Like
You put him on
he should
special
be-
teams, he's going to be there as the guy catches the ball in the end zone. Like that's how fast he is.
The guy runs a 4.4. Like it's one of those things where it's going to be a shame when Roger Goodell calls and the insert team here picks edge rusher out of Georgia, Nolan. No. They should say insanely athletic football player out of Georgia, Nolan Smith. He could probably play 21 of the 22 positions on both sides of the football. And the only one I'm taking away from that is quarterback. And
Why?
that's
He
it.
can run RPO.
Wow, okay.
Nolan Smith is so fast, he will be on the stage before Goodell is done saying Nolan Smith. And that's a quick name. But I mean, I love the kid. I love him. I hope if he's not a Jet, I hope he ends up in the NFC. This kid to me is the same exact size, the same exact speed as Micah Parsons. And I think this guy is going to be phenomenal on defense. I really, really do. I think he's just going to come in. And if you find a way to free him up to use his speed and create if Rex Ryan was still running the Jets defense, this would be the pick at 13 because Rex would use this guy's speed with that amoeba defense with everyone walking around and you don't know who's coming from where. And he would design it to free him up. So he could do it. If for some reason he falls, he would be wonderful with Wink Martindale in the Giants defensive scheme. Or if they really want to go up and get him, Wink comes from like the school of Rex Ryan with the creativity and you don't know what the hell and who's coming from where. So I think that would be a team to watch out for. If Nolan's there, late teens, Giants jumping up the way they like to get after the quarterback. 21.
Real quick on Nolan Smith.
Chargers.
Keep an eye out on the Cowboys. This has Dan Quinn written all over him. The last guy that looked exactly like this that had all these measurables.
Deion Jones.
No, was Micah
No,
Parsons.
I'm saying
size.
Both of them.
No, I'm saying
both
when
of them on the same
Dan
defense?
Quinn had Deion Jones.
Oh,
Yeah. So and Dan Quinn seems to be the guy who's going to be the next head coach when they fire Mike McCarthy at the end of this year, which makes a ton of sense. Like that's what I would do. Dan Quinn is running that
He's been there
defense
too long anyway.
I would.
insanely well.
Oh yeah, I
And,
would.
and so there's a sneaky team that might come up to go get him, especially at that 19. If he's still there at 19 and all the offensive linemen are gone, the Bucs are sellers. And if Nolan Smith is on there, he's worth the trade up. Give up the third, the fourth, whatever it is. You go get him, and you get 2 Micah Parsons. Imagine. Ugh.
yes, I love the player. I love the player.
No, I'm already
Imagine the speed of
disgusted
him and
with you
Parsons on
Cowboys
defense together.
already. Ugh.
But I mean,
I don't
just
wanna
to
hear
go with your
Cowboys.
Mike McCarthy comment, we keep waiting for Mike McCarthy to get fired, and it never happens. It's like me and Mara waiting for the cops to come in and get Mel during the show, but for some reason, it never happens. It just keeps going on, and we're like, "What's going on here?"
It was, you know what
Oh,
it
you know
was? It
Evan,
was
you'll
New
never
Orleans
lose.
wanting a
That's the
first-round
offseason.
pick for Sean Payton. That's what it was. If New
Yeah.
Orleans was cool taking a second, Sean Payton's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Where are we? Mark,
Chargers 21.
your Los Angeles Chargers with you rocking a jersey. They got a nice receiving core. They got Williams, they got Allen, they got size. But you bring in somebody, and you're gonna curse me out as soon as you hear the name. Mar, you know where I'm going. They add Zay
better not say it.
Flowers.
Oh
They add Zay Flowers.
Why
Somebody
would
with
you
the
do that?
speed
dog?
underneath.
Why would you do that?
It's.
He's wide
To
receiver
me, it's
too,
a
man.
no-brainer.
Sidebar, I am such a huge Zay Flowers fan, and I'm hoping that because the draft is in Kansas City, Brett Veach is like, he's all about fireworks, and right now he's like swinging it right now because he just won a Super Bowl with literally nothing in the wide receiver department, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up and go get Zay Flowers. So that's how big on Zay Flowers I am. I'm hoping that Brett Veach hears this, and I want you to go trade up and go get Zay Flowers to Patrick Mahomes right now. And the only reason why I say that is because yes, I am in love with Kadarius Toney's athleticism and freak athlete that he is, but he still has injury concerns that are still bothering me because he's a lot of time leading up to the playoffs. He missed time with the Giants, so like you can't put all your eggs in your basket right now on Kadarius Toney to be your number one receiver. And I'm not saying that Zay Flowers comes in as instantly your number one, but he's damn sure you're instantly number 2. But I'm saying just how well for me, yes. But if Andy would have it that way, for me, yes, he's one. That's how.
How do you?
Well,
I think he would change
Kelsey is
that.
tight end 1 and wide receiver 1, right? So he would technically still be wide receiver 2 because Kelsey's wide receiver 1. But there's
I addressed it, Anthony. It was one of the first things I said. I was on that quick before you got in here. But how do you cover Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and Zay Flowers? How do you cover that? It's impossible.
With Patrick Mahomes being able to throw 90 yards.
Yeah, he's pretty good at getting the ball to guys. I mean, it's insane. Like the thought of it is scary. And remember, the first mock I did, I had Zay Flowers as my first wide receiver off the board. I told you. Yeah, I told you, keep an eye out for him. So,
all right, Baltimore 22 right there, Tigo, and that's one pick right before Baltimore too.
Jordan Addison. They need the wide receiver help. OBJ ain't it. Bateman keeps getting hurt, and I never really believed in Bateman. Duvernay is a special teamer. He shouldn't be considered anything. And then I know that they added Alec Aguilar, but like, are you really believing in Aguilar like all that much? No, I think Jordan Addison is built to be a wide receiver 2 in the NFL, and that's exactly where they go. They go that way.
The only Bateman I believe in is Jason. Everything he touches is fantastic. He's the most underrated actor in the world. Everything he touches is amazing.
Hey, I actually 23. Gotta get out of here.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
Nick, I think you know why I've made all the picks moving forward, and you can be able to talk them because these are when we actually realize, though, like we breezed through the first couple of picks.
Yeah, but guys, you value special teams, so you picked a lot of punters and kickers the rest of the way. I get it. Yeah. Matt Nugent's now.
I also took a long snapper at 31 because it's the biggest need for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So
they kick a lot of extra points.
Yeah, took the long snapper out of UCF and just breeze. It was so easy.
Hey man, thank you for your help.
I appreciate you, man.
Guys, thanks for having me on. I wish I could finish it, but
that's cool.
All
right, man.
Later, bro.
Have a good one.
So 23, the Vikings. I know they lost Thielen. I got them taking Brian Bresee, the D lineman. He's like a Lucas Van Ness. He could play inside. He could play out. He brings an identity to that D line. I'll go through this quick too.
And then
yeah. Jaguars.
Hold on, wait a minute. Fuck Kirk Cousins. Go ahead.
Oh, of course. Forgive me for not kicking it to you to say that. I apologize.
It's okay.
I apologize. Please forgive me.
Keep the
24 Jaguars. We got them taking. This was Tigo's pick. Brian Branch, the safety from Alabama. You put him on the back end. 25, the Giants. With the receivers gone, I don't think there's anyone here that they like to take. So in that blitzing scheme, you add a corner that you can put out and cover man-to-man so you can blitz. I got them taking Deonte Banks, the cornerback from Maryland. Helps them out on the back end, can cover a little more and allow the blitzes to get home. I mean, this is a no-brainer pick, but it's also something I don't think any of the 31 other teams want to see. Bijan Robinson on the Cowboys. Everyone likes the player, and we would all have to hate him immediately. 27, the Bills. I debated Quentin Johnson from TCU, but I think he's too similar to Diggs. And I think a good counter to Diggs, a good compliment to him would be Josh Downs, the wide receiver from North Carolina. Smaller, got a lot of speed, and something that Buffalo needs because they got route runners. They've tried some little slot guys, but this dude is a really good player. It wouldn't be trying to fit a fourth or fifth wide receiver into a 3 receiver spot anymore. You would have a legit weapon with him to match up with Diggs, and potentially Hopkins, who has leaked he wants to go there. Bengals at 28. You have Collins. You have I forget the other one. Jonah. I forget his name. The other tackle, Jonah Williams from Alabama.
Yeah.
You can move Williams in, who played guard also for a bit at Alabama, and you bring in Anton Harrison from Oklahoma, and you build the line in front of Burrow, right? Like I think all of us, our jaws will kind of drop collectively if it's not the tackle or an offensive lineman.
Something that plays on the line on the offensive side. Something.
It could very well be the next player who I have going for the Saints. You brought in Derek Carr. Michael Thomas is allegedly going to be playing football again, and you got him and Olave at receivers. But now you got to solidify the line. You lost Armstead to Miami last year. You're weak up the middle. Carr has mobility, but you want to be able to protect the pocket so he can step up and throw in. So I have them drafting Steve Avila, the guard from TCU. 30, the Eagles. Somebody who at one point in like November, December in mock season. Running back in the spring now. Let me finish these last 2 picks, and then I'll hit that. Remind me, guys, to come back to that. Miles Murphy, edge from Clemson. Philadelphia has loaded their team with D-line and offensive line, and this fits exactly what they want to do. They want to get after the quarterback. Their schedule was very easy. Even their playoff run was pretty easy. They got the Niners without one of their top 7 quarterbacks. The Giants at home, and the Giants just aren't there yet at that level in the divisional round. They're still missing some pieces.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, and Josh Johnson ended up playing, for crying out loud,
and he got hurt.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of like the NBA Finals, and you start a guy from the G League as your shooting guard. Like that was the equivalent of Josh Johnson playing in the NFC Championship, right? He wasn't even on the team in the beginning of the season. And then they played what? Oh, the Giants beat the Vikings, and then the Eagles beat the Giants. Yeah, and I just think that as good as the Eagles look this year, they could be a better team with a worse record next year, if that makes a lot of sense. I just don't think they're
because they got to play a number 1 team.
They're playing the AFC East. The NFC East and the AFC East play this year. That whole division lucked out last year, and that's why I think they were able to stack as many wins as they did, because they played the easiest schedule in football as a whole. So I think they got to do more to get better, because you saw in the Super Bowl, you firsthand were rooting for it. They couldn't get to the quarterback, and they led the league in sacks.
0.
Yeah, so
0.
You gotta, with the number 10 pick, Paris Johnson, you building up your offensive line still with someone who can help Hurts, and now you bring in an edge rusher. Both played in big time conferences and big games. So, and next we have the Chargers, or last we have the Chargers, because the Miami Dolphins suck and got their pick taken away from them. Quentin Johnston from TCU. The slide stops here. He goes. He's a good route runner. He can get open. I said this before. He's a body catcher. He's got to start catch. That's just like Mel. I know Mel loves when I say that, because Mel's like, I'm a body catcher too with the league.
I catch a lot of bodies.
Yeah, that's right, bro. So him going to Kansas City, it's a bigger body than Zay Flowers, and I think he would be a great fit. Any receiver goes to Kansas City. That's your dream job, right? Like who do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a wide receiver. I mean, I want to be a Chiefs wide receiver. Like, you're going to be electric.
With Mahomes as my quarterback, please send me there.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick. Here we go.
So, Tigo and I did it. Like you said, we did no trades. We will have a full in-depth one next week with trade projections, and it'll be a fun one to do.
Yeah, that was
We will have some.
everybody.
We will have some movement going around.
Nah, that's dope, man. I appreciate our time and effort y'all put into the mock
Oh
draft
yeah. Oh yeah.
4.20 for today.
Oh, Anthony had one question before we switch it
Oh
up.
yeah.
on
Yeah, go
football.
ahead. Yeah, he was
Let's
saying,
see, I'm a big believer, Anthony, and you should know this by watching the show as much as you do, and thank you for doing that. I believe that you don't take a running back early, and they call them sleepers, but I just think that you're better off drafting the lineman and then bringing in a running back to succeed. Denver became infamous with it. Terrell Davis was 6th round. Mike Anderson was undrafted from Navy or Army, whichever one he went to. Forgive me for if anyone gets offended that I mixed those up. I knew he was military. I didn't know what school. And he came in and ran for like 1,800 yards and like 15 touchdowns. The guy in the XFL now, Philip Lindsay, was undrafted, 1,000-yard rusher, Pro Bowl his rookie year. When you have the line and you have a great stretch run blocking scheme, anybody can come in. All of these guys are equally talented. There's not much that separates NFL running backs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guys in front of them that make the difference. It's the play action from the quarterback. So you could take all of these guys and mix and match them around and move them around, and they could all have the same success on the same teams. You know, some guys just can't on the next level, but I mean, he very well could have a good season depending where he ends up. But I think he's like 6 or 7 in the running back like projections right now. But
yeah,
like I said, you land in the right scheme, the right coordinator who sets it up the right way.
Mm-hmm.
that changes everything.
All these guys are capable of coming out of the blue and being the next big name that like we all missed on, right?
Yeah. Hey, that's the beauty of the draft, and it's going to be a dope one this year. So let's flip gears on this because some NBA playoffs been going on.
Peace. I'm out.
No, everybody can speak on this because here's my thing. Obviously Monday show happened, so this situation happened in between Monday and Thursday show. So I want your takes on the Draymond Green stunt around the world, and give me your thoughts. Yeah, stomp. They make my head. They make my
Great
head.
Peyton Hillis. Peyton Hillis.
Let me hear you now. So kick it off, Detroit Mel. Give me your thoughts on the stomp, and then give me your thoughts on how you feel if the suspension was warranted or not. Go ahead.
I'm down for good stomping. You know what I'm saying? But not in a basketball game, sir. I mean, it's like this, man. It's unfortunate. If this was an isolated incident, then it's not really that big of a deal. Because he has history, and because he's been doing this over and over again. The knee, hitting the nuts, stumping another player before, just so much stuff over and over again. It becomes a distraction. It's not a distraction when you're winning. But now you starting to fall off. Now it's like everything is even highlighted even more. And with Draymond, it's like, okay, bro, no, we losing. You out here doing this, and you becoming a distraction. And we can go back to the time. I forgot who did they play at the time when he got suspended and they lost the series. Was that Cleveland?
2016 against Cleveland.
Yeah, when they playing Cleveland.
When he was on the floor and kicked his legs up at LeBron.
Right. He got suspended. They lost the series.
Lost the series,
and, and part of that is because, we're going to say it's all on him, but part of it was on him getting suspended. Now he's suspended for the next game. They down 0-2. I just think it's time to move on from Draymond Green. What you getting from him besides bullshit? Now, what you getting from him? So I think it's dumb, man. It's like it was cool when you was winning. When you first come in the league, you do that kind of stuff. You can chalk it up to being young. Now you're an old head.
And still doing the same answer.
Still doing the same stuff. Now you're like a fool. and you losing. So I think
Yeah.
it's dumb.
So you fine with the suspension?
Oh yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, you gotta look at from if you look at from a standpoint of it's not an isolated incident.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming down. You knew he
Yeah.
get suspended. Isolated incident, do we have a different conversation?
Yeah.
You know, but, so even if he just accidentally like he stumped him, it doesn't matter. You have a history of it. You know, you have a history of doing crazy stuff, wherever it is.
Yeah.
You know, something happened, it might not even be your fault. People gonna take the latter of the decision because of the fact you have history.
Mhm.
And that's what it is with Draymond now. He has so much history that it doesn't matter. He breathes on somebody wrong, he gets suspended. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true. That's true. Nick, jump in here. Give me your thoughts on the stomp, and then give me your thoughts on if the suspension was warranted.
I don't want anyone to misconstrue anything I'm about to say, so I want to be crystal clear with it. Fuck
you about to call
Draymond.
me a nigga? Oh,
Yeah.
I would never.
Nick, continue.
I would never do that where you
Nick,
could hear it.
continue.
I promise.
I appreciate it.
No worries, bud. I got you back. Let me mute myself here for a second. Fuck Draymond Green. Fuck Draymond Green. Like, okay. I mean, this is a society thing too. All the people screaming for his defense.
Right.
Shit happens to you in life.
Mm-hmm.
How you respond to it reveals more about your character than anyone else's. Bad shit's going to happen to you. It doesn't give you a right or free pass to act the fool. Yes, you're an asshole. And so was Rasheed Wallace, and they had a short whistle with him.
Right.
And so was
they
DeMarcus
won.
Cousins, and they had a short whistle with him. And so was Dennis Rodman, and they had a short
He
whistle
won.
with him. When you want to be the fucking asshole of a team and the instigator and the agitator, guess what? They're going to call it on you.
Mm-hmm.
If Steph Curry does that, yo, this is wow. This has never happened before. Well, what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
It's Draymond. Here we go again. One of our friends of the show, Tyrus Kennedy, posted a Google of Draymond Green kicks, and then the next 7 things that come up, all are different people. He's done it before. He is a repeat offender. You know why they got the 3-strike rule? Because you keep doing the same shit again and again and again.
Right.
Draymond is a fucking moron. You know I'm tired of the Warriors. I hope I'm rooting for the Kings to win it all. Because as a Jet fan, I am a never-ending, passionate lover of the underdog and the team that hasn't done it to come up and do it. I hope the Warriors win without Draymond, and then they lose every fucking game with him to say we were better without you. Your shit is old. I can go out there, set screens, pass the ball, and argue with the fucking crowd.
Right.
And I got a ruptured ACL. I can do what he does.
Yeah.
He's not defensive player of the year type anymore. He is just a fucking loudmouth nuisance, and he gets more play for his negativity and his comments on his podcasts than he does positive play. So fuck Draymond Green. If you're on the streets and someone does that, swing away. Because then you don't have to worry about getting caught. But when you're in an NBA game and you're in the playoffs and you're down, it looks like you're about to go down another game.
Right.
You're hurting your team more than you're hurting Sabonis. So good. Fuck him.
Get triple singles.
Yeah. I can go.
Sounds like you're.
But like, am I wrong?
Suspension.
Like, listen, yeah, he got something done to him. People get cut off on the road. Does that mean you go ram the fucking car at the next telephone pole? No. Like, you got to accept it. You got to move on. Bad shit happens in the world.
But
what do you teach kids? Oh, as soon as something happens to you, swing away. Who cares? You're allowed to do it because you got hurt.
To speak to that too, like I said earlier, you are a vet. You're an old head. If you was a young rookie or 2 or 3 year player, I can kind of let that slide. Okay, something happened to you. You kind of went off. Okay, you're young. Okay, you gotta learn, but you're young. You've been here in this league for a while. You're older. You should be mature.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to come in, switch to game mode, and play the game. That's just part of being
2016, and they went 3-1, and he kicked someone in the dick.
Right.
and it happened to be LeBron, they definitely weren't going to let that slide. So,
no, that's slide.
No, they definitely weren't going to let that slide.
The LeBron who tweeted on March 31st, there's no, if anyone know me, there ain't no way I'm paying $5 for Twitter verified. Today, LeBron's got the blue check mark. He paid the $5 Twitter verified. Are you trying to tell me LeBron flip-flopped in 20 days? No, stop.
But he does, man.
No,
he's on brand.
Look, you both, you are absolutely right in your stance that this guy he's in a repeat offender, does the same antics again and again. Look, Draymond Green is a WWE character playing basketball. All right.
Yes.
He's
Triple H as the best villain in the game, right?
So here's a lot of elements that cause the suspension. Yes, his history. That's big time. All right. You're a repeat offender, not just once, not twice, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. You're a repeat offender.
Habitual.
All right. So yeah, habitual offender. Yeah. So yes, that takes into account. All right. The fact that he turned into his WWE character after he literally just stomped a man in the chest, he's playing to the God. Yeah. That when you turn on Draymond, the Ultimate Warrior, that okay, the league office is looking at that. They're like, yo, look at this. Like, come on, man. You play like you're adding to the hostility because you're in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? So that adds to it. Right?
What's word, man?
There's another 2 things that all right. Here's another element. The fact that you not really showing remorse for the situation, and you came up with literally some whack reason, the reason why you stomped on him, and you can complain about him look, Sabonis grabbed him. All right, okay, so I'm cool with calling the foul on Sabonis, but not him getting suspended for getting stomped in the chest. Not attack. Like you literally stomped on this man.
Very good point, Anthony.
Here's another point. Sabonis is questionable with a bruised sternum. You don't think that plays into it? That absolutely plays into it. How do you think Sabonis' sternum is bruised?
This motherfucker got no shirt on in his profile picture?
I'm guessing with a stomp. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
so
Bone said,
am I saying that the right way?
I want to see that. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Bones. All right. So we good with the load management today? You ready to work? You ready to work? Just let me know if you're ready to work today. We'll see.
I had to zoom in. You know how it is. It's a little picture. I was trying to see if that was you or if that was Tupac.
Nah, Tupac.
You know what, with Draymond, know the situation. If it's December, stomp him in the fucking head. You got time to recover. In the middle of a series when you're down 1 and you're about to be down 2, it's not knowing the situation. It's there's what's the fuck? What's the man? I'm trying to think of the Madden rating for the quarterbacks. Not the pocket presence, the other one.
What?
Like I'll figure it out. Man, my mind.
Elusiveness?
No, like situational awareness. Like
awareness.
What is it?
Awareness. The awareness.
Yeah. The awareness is like a 52 in Madden or NBA 2K. Right. Like you can't be doing that in a playoff game. Oh God! And he's walking around.
Hi guys.
You got the beard.
Yeah, man. Why? Jesus Christ! This looks like a video that Al Jazeera would put out with the lighting and your beard. You don't have a reporter tied up in there, do you?
You're like Santa Claus off season. Before he woke up.
So
what's up, buddy?
I had something to hide. I was going to come in, but I don't even remember what it was no more.
Probably a machete.
You gonna make money,
bruh. Draymond is a fucking idiot.
Yes.
Let's start there. Wait,
I'm trying to be the black version.
I think I am already. Like I'm nigga Nick.
Wait,
Not nigga Nick, nigga Nick.
I'm trying to be the black version of Nick. What the fuck you guys talking about?
Go ahead, Bones.
Draymond had his headphones blaring before he came to the game, listening to Thug Nipson stomp him in the nuts. For real, like that was probably like the dumbest. But I mean, I don't know about y'all. I kind of expected it because when he's not like just winning, he kind of fucking just the asshole to be there. He gives nothing to the game at all anymore. Realistic, I mean. He dribbles the ball up the court and passes the ball to Steph Curry when he runs off the screen. Anybody can do that shit.
Right.
Hey, me. I got 6 fouls. And of course, I'm not literally speaking for somebody coming to say I couldn't do what Jeremiah does. Obviously, I couldn't. I'm not in the NBA. But we're talking amongst the level of NBA talents. Draymond Green's pretty much a fucking bum. Hasn't been for a very long time. He's been very good in the very specific system and specific role only. Anywhere else, he Patrick Beverly. Anywhere else.
He's Cliff Livingston and the 90s Bulls. He's the 10th guy who gets them hyped up before the game. What time is it? Like, that's him.
Right.
Agreed.
Oh, fuck.
Haslem.
You agree with me? All right, that's it. We both out of the show. You two gotta finish by yourself.
It's the beard. It's the beard.
Oh, Matt, what's the score? Still 1-0? Any news?
All right, time for me to leave. That's my cue.
Well, when we start talking baseball,
yeah, I got to go, guys.
I'm glad that you did the slight load management that you did. We
are we talking about baseball now? Because I am going.
This should be what Draymond is, what Bones is. Show up for 2 minutes at the end of a blowout, and then that's it. That's your time for the day. Didn't hurt nobody.
Yeah, quick, hit it hard.
There you go.
Quick, hit it hard.
I'm out.
That's
all right, bro.
I can't.
He told his wife he went to the bathroom to piss, and she's like, "I hear you in the garage." She's like, "Oh, I'm coming."
I'll be back. I'm coming.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you talking to me again?
And then, when I yell at it.
Look, I wasn't surprised he got the suspension.
Yeah,
I wasn't surprised.
No.
Like, and my thing is he can't be surprised. Like, my thing is, Draymond is way too intelligent. He really is an intelligent dude, but he's building this WWE character. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he's literally just like a laundry list of antics, and it's crazy that you talk about people on the ground grabbing you, and there's literally a laundry list of pictures of you on the ground grabbing guys.
Yeah.
Hey, rephrase that.
You can't be a victim when you assault that many people. Like,
right. For real.
Many times. Like, all of a sudden, you're the victim now?
Like, you show up, like, if you got a gun and you go to shoot somebody, or you miss, and they shoot you, like, you're like, oh, you can't be the victim. Like, right. You fucked up.
Out here, Tory Lanez.
I didn't hear you.
Don't worry about it. But I mean, just no, it's just it baffles me that Draymond is sitting here is acting like a victim, and then Klay Thompson was like, "Oh wow, what are you supposed to do?" Like, I think that's your boy.
What are you supposed to do? Let's stop this motherfucker. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, see that, and I think that's the most.
Here's my thing, though. I have a problem when you defend dumb shit. Like, you could be cool with somebody and just say no comment, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. But don't defend dumb shit. I have a problem with that. You don't defend dumb shit. I'm sorry.
I got you, because
we're back. It was like a quick commercial break.
Bones said, "Did what people do: show up for the tax season and leave." Hey, that's what you do. You don't get a girlfriend until after Christmas.
There you go.
And then you dump her before Labor Day.
There you go.
Oh, no, Memorial Day. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's even
not
better.
Memorial Day. I'm gonna go Memorial Day.
Yeah, bitch,
No,
you ain't
no,
invited to the picnic.
you get her the day after Valentine's Day, because then the taxes are coming at the end of the month. You don't got to get a gift.
Oh, Nick has done this before.
While in lengthy relationships, I would fuck up at the Super Bowl, so they dump me, and I didn't even have to dump them, and then I get back after Valentine's Day.
You dirty dog.
I'd be like, on Thursday, I'm going out. The Super Bowl is Sunday. I wouldn't come back to like Monday. Real quick, funny story on that. The day after the Super Bowl.
You sure you want to share this?
I do. It's funny as hell. I don't care. It's good. It's clean. So the day after the Super Bowl in 2006, February 06, I was at my boys. This is we were getting wild. I got in late. She was furious at me. It snowed. There was ice. She walks out. She slips in the parking lot, like sprains her ankle. Now she works at a hospital, so she goes to work, and now while she's there, like it's swelling and bad, so they tell her to go. Yeah, she's like, I need you to come pick me up. She's like, it's my driving foot and it's swollen. I'm like, all right, I'll be there. Like, I'm groggy, I'm drunk, I've been up for 2 days, and I'm like, all right. But I had the ring already, and I had a whole big thing on how I was going to do it. And as I'm driving there, I'm like, oh my God, I got to fucking propose today so I don't have to hear about this fucking ankle and me being out last night. That was a thought that went through my head. So, in the most unromantic proposal ever, but that cheer her up. Me and the dog went over. I put the dog up on the couch with her. I got her set up, and I went down on her knee and I proposed. And I never heard about the fucking ankle, and I never heard about me being late out for like 2 days before the Super Bowl again. It was brilliant on my move. I got the 2 kids
How'd
out
it
of
work
it.
out for you?
That's addict Nick stories. So I would like to tell you, gentlemen, 41 days today sober. I'm proud of it, and I'm going to share it. So
Good.
Thank you. But yeah, that's the story of my proposal. There's no Paris, there's no Eiffel Tower, there's no New York City playing a show.
Nah,
Like,
you did that. You did that. So basically, just to break it down, you didn't you proposed out of sanctity so you can keep your sanity. That's what you did.
Yep. Self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
It's too cold to kick me out. Bitch, marry me.
Yo.
And needless to say, that didn't work out.
Yeah. Needless to say that this folks is still a sports show, and yeah, please do not take dating advice from Big Homie Nick.
No, I am the
sport.
lesson of what not to do. I told you it wasn't too bad. It's funny, and I'm the butt of the joke, so it's
I love that.
Hey, but no, I just think that is crazy. But Mike Brown, but look, I don't want to take away credit from the Sacramento Kings because they are playing well. They are playing good basketball. Mike Brown gets the Coach of the Year, and then De'Aaron Fox is no brainer. And then De'Aaron Fox is the inaugural Clutch Player of the Year, which is a new award that the NBA are putting out. So hey, still kudos to the Kings because they still have to show up. They still have to, come and try to slow down. Well, they kind of have slowed down Steph to a certain degree because, man, they literally are guarding him pretty much full court, and they're making him work. And, Clay's not having a good series so far. Obviously, Draymond's not having a good series so far. Jordan Poole's not having a good series so far. And, I mean, they're in the games, but, for the most part, Sacramento is they're just been their more physical team, the more, explosive team. And you just got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? When Steph and Clay were in their prime in the mid-teens, the years, not their age, I said for a couple of years that once they lose half a step, those shots aren't getting off clean anymore. So their longevity, LeBron can change his game. LeBron was a shooter. LeBron led the league in assists one year. LeBron can power to the basket. He played power forward. He bulked up. LeBron at his size can change the role he plays. Curry's not turning into John Stockton and being a facilitator, but
Nope.
and Clay running around, coming off the ACL and the Achilles, you can see he's wearing down. He's not getting open like he used to. So,
And Clay wants max deal.
the Nets will give it to him.
Clay wants max deal.
Of course,
That's been dropped out there. Yeah, but here's my
I think
thing.
Clay can play longer than Curry in the league at a higher rate because at least Clay plays defense and he has the better size than Steph. Steph, he loses a step. He's not getting those shots off. He's not getting back anymore. People are going to be up in his grill, and you're starting to see that a little bit in this series, in my opinion.
How they be affect when Draymond wants to speak. To take that, big homie.
Me?
Big homie, Nick, take that.
Eddie, I said earlier, I'll give you the quick summary of what I said a few minutes ago. That I'm a big Draymond hater. I say fuck Draymond when anyone talks about him, and I don't like the Warriors. I appreciate them. I respect the players, Clay and Steph, and what Iguodala did there for a long time. But I hope they win without Draymond, and then they lose the games when he comes back. Like that's how much I hate Draymond. I want them to see Draymond's the issue. I want Draymond to see Draymond's the issue. But who knows? I mean, maybe you get another scorer on the court and things open up a little bit. You know,
Right.
he's not a scoring threat.
No,
So
that's not it. No.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate you.
You want to talk about
Detroit Mel, you want to take that question too?
Yeah, I mean, I basically agree with Longbeard over there. I think that I don't disagree with that, man. I think that
The nicest thing you ever called me. I'm not even mad at it.
I will say this though, the way they plan collectively,
Yeah,
and then it's ass. The only way to
it
put
is.
it. And I think the Draymond thing, it can work both ways. It can work in a way where he's gone and they can kind of have something to galvanize around and say, okay, we don't have Draymond, and go out and play better. Or it can just fall apart because they don't have that guy out there, chirping at people and kind of getting them a little hype and going. So, I'm kind of up in the air. I think they win the next game anyway because that's just how things go. You down to the Warriors, and the Warriors is a veteran team. I don't think they get swept.
No. I don't think they get swept, but I think
they probably win the next game.
I think they definitely win tonight's game because
Mhm.
Say what you want. I know they're a veteran team. They've been in the playoffs on a consistent basis, but I don't care if you're down 0-3. There's no way I see the Kings losing 4 straight games.
Me either. They just fall apart off of that.
There's no way I see the Kings losing 4 straight games, but they do. I think
Warriors. Oh, you mean Warriors coming back?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And I'll say this too, Lamar too. I think
losing
the biggest thing the Warriors could have had against the Kings was to break their confidence. If they came out and they was up 2-0 and the Warriors having the pedigree they have, that would have worked in their favor. Now, the Kings are up 2-0. They got momentum and the confidence, and the Warriors lose another game, it's over. I mean, it's just completely over. Ain't nothing they can do.
Yeah, they look. Warriors cannot. I absolutely hear what I'm saying. Absolutely cannot lose tonight.
Right,
they cannot. If they do, you might as well chalk it up. So that's why I think they win for sure tonight. So, but my thing is we've all seen it. Dynasties. They begin, they have their success, and then eventually they all fade away.
Right.
Every dynasty does. My thing is,
that's the beauty of it, right? The rise and the fall, because we see them come of age, and then you start to see them, and then you see the next team coming up, and so there's the beauty on both ends of the dynasty.
Yeah, well, because the thing is about it is now look at the time frame. Most dynasties last what? A decade?
Shit. Are you kidding me?
What, 9-10 years?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
It's a sports story.
Okay.
What's up?
Former WWE wrestler Ted DiBiase charged in the welfare scandal involving Brett Favre.
Yeah, I knew that's what happened.
Which, if anybody knows wrestling with the $1 Million Man, his infamous catch line was, "Everybody's got a price." This
Right.
is living the character to 1,000,000%.
Yo, that's wild. That's wild.
I
That's
can't
wild.
get this out
But no,
fast enough right now.
I'm just saying with each dynasty, look at it. Look at the time frame of it. It's about a decade. The Warriors have had their decade. They've won 4 championships. You know, countless finals appearances. I'm not saying that the dynasty is dead, but it's damn sure dying because you can't continue. My thing is you can't continue on going on with the same antics from Draymond for the whole dynasty.
Yeah. And I think too, what makes a great organization is knowing when to move on, when to retool. And I think they held on Draymond too long.
You can still get value for Clay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he says he wants max contract, there's no way I can pay Clay. That's just me.
Because then you're not going to be able to play the next guy, right? Isn't Poole the next one? Like the up-and-coming star?
No, they already paid Poole.
You already paid Poole.
Already paid Poole. He's already got $100-something million. So Poole's paid. Steph is paid. Draymond wants a contract. Clay wants a contract. But you know what I'm saying? Like they both want contracts.
He also can't read.
there's no way. There's no way I can do that. I just think
that's a good question.
I just think that the Warriors dynasty is at the end of it, and the signs are showing because look how pathetic they've been on the road. I mean, they're a 6th seed. When's the last time you saw the Golden State Warriors as a 6th seed?
Right.
The Western Conference has caught up with them. It used to be Warriors or else. You're not saying Warriors or else no more.
It's his son.
Yeah.
It's not his man, it's his son.
His son.
But they had the picture of him on the Bleacher Report article.
They probably don't know the difference.
Yeah, you got bamboozled.
And said, what's your top 3 dynasty? Are we talking about in all sports?
All sports?
Yeah, that's important. And how far are we going back that we've seen, that we've lived through? Because I mean, the Celtics in the 50s is number 1. The Yankees in the 50s are up there equally.
Okay, let me ask you this though: are we saying top 3 dynasty far as overall wins or top 3 dynasty?
No, he's saying NBA.
Who we like?
Oh, NBA.
Are you talking about who we like?
I mean, the 90s Bulls, right?
Yeah,
we've seen the 90s Bulls, and then after them, the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe, right? The 3-peat. No one else is 3-peated. I consider the Spurs with Duncan for 20 years of dynasty.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, they had 5.
They got 5 rings. They didn't get the back-to-back. They never got the 3-peat, but they were consistently a title contender for 18 years, from 98 until 08 when Tim retired.
Right.
Yeah.
So, or 16 whenever he retired.
Well, definitely Bulls is number 1. I don't think there's no debate. No debate.
Agree.
Definitely 90s Bulls is number 1.
I gotta put Golden State in there.
Where would you put them at?
At least 2 or 3.
Can you put them ahead of the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe? Because they got the 3-peat. Warriors never got the 3-peat.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
It's a good discussion, though, because you could say that the Lakers had 3 and then they scrapped it. So they didn't have the longevity that the Warriors have. You can take that side of it.
I don't know. It's that's a toss-up. I'll say if you put Lakers at 2, I'll put Warriors at 3.
I would put.
But MJ, are you talking about the Celtics of old, or are you talking about the Celtics of modern time?
If you're talking about 80 Celtics, I would give him at that point.
I give 80 Celtics, yeah.
Anything before that, I can't speak on.
We talking about what Nick said, 90s on.
No, but they've lived through, right? Like the 80s, it's tough to call. I mean, the Pistons had back-to-back.
Well, okay, then what's your definition of dynasty? Back-to-back,
3 is
2 or more championships?
I think three is a dynasty.
Okay.
So I've only seen the Bulls do it and the Lakers do it in the NBA.
Right.
You know, we've never seen
And
it
the
in
Warriors.
college basketball either.
And the Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors got 4.
They didn't do 3 in a row.
Oh, you talking about 3-peats? Okay.
3-peats.
Wait, so is that?
No, I'm
part
just
of
saying
the criteria?
3-peats are, to me, to win 3 consecutive makes you a better dynasty because you did it, and you did it.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not shitting on the Warriors for their 4, but if they win that year when they're up 3-1, they're up there with the Bulls, in my opinion, because now they got 5. But that tarnishes it a little bit for me because they blew it. That's why I have them behind the Lakers, because the Lakers did it 3. I mean, Kobe and Shaq did 2, and then Kobe surfed on Shaq's coattails for the first one. I had to. You know I have to every time we bring it up. I'm not wrong either.
Why are you such a Kobe hater? And
I'm
then
not.
but
I gave Kobe credit for the second and the third, but the first one was Shaq. You can't deny that. You're a fan. You watched it. You watched the progression of Kobe, but you can't say Kobe was Kobe for the first one.
No, but if Matt's saying the Islanders,
that's it. No, that's it. I don't need the butt.
I know. No, the Red Wings had a nice little dynasty.
They're the winners American hockey team.
I'll take your word for it.
No, they won 11.
Who would think on the show with 2 black guys and the white guy? The black guy's telling me about hockey. Like, who would watch the show and think that's how it would break down?
Oh, Nick, Kobe, or LeBron?
Give me 1 second, son. My son's. Hey, I'm on the show. Give me 10 minutes. I'll call you back.
I'll take Kobe.
Of course, I'm gonna take Kobe.
What team?
No.
I know, like to me, like in basketball, it matters.
Nick,
what do I need?
No,
I'm being honest with you.
No,
as
he's
a
asking
coach,
you right
I look
now,
at it as
Nick,
what do
Kobe.
I need?
All right, you starting a franchise.
Okay.
Oh, like a draft, an overall draft.
You're starting a franchise, Nick, and you got prime Kobe, you got prime LeBron.
I'm taking LeBron because LeBron makes other people around him better. And Kobe himself admitted he wasn't a passer. I think, listen, this is going to be something that's going to blow the roof off. I said it before, and I don't think we should start this with 7 minutes left in the show. I think Kobe was in the league at the right time after one era died out and before the other one started up. I think that mid to late 2000s with Garnett and Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is the most overrated bag of shit to ever play basketball. People have mentioned him to be like top 5 all time. Like, get the fuck out of here. Or not top 5 shooting guard or whatever. Not, I'll just send Michelle. Thank you. But I mean, my brand of basketball and what I want is I want somebody who has positional flexibility.
Okay.
Like we said, LeBron can play power forward. LeBron can play shooting guard. LeBron can transcend different eras. It's no knock on Kobe's game because I'm taking Kobe 3. So I'm not shitting on Kobe. But for what I would like with my team, if I'm picking a team like you proposed it to me, I'm going to take LeBron because he can be the scorer when I need him to be. He can be the facilitator when I need him to be. He can get 15 rebounds. He can block shots. He can play, get back on defense. I for my taste, it's LeBron. I mean, I couldn't deal with the man. I would rather have Kobe, the isolated assassin, than LeBron, the flopping bitch. But talent-wise, yeah. But Kobe's 3, so it's not like it's not, and it's close, right? Like you could ask me next week, and I might say Kobe. So I'm not shitting. I'm not putting Brian Scalabrine ahead of Kobe. Like I'm putting LeBron, who's played the equal amount of years and it has more points. So, and LeBron, to me, he's never been number 2 on the team. There was moments where Wade was, but LeBron has always been the man. From 18 years old, he's been the man. Yeah, you don't look at any of Kobe or any of LeBron's titles and say Sabonis Ilgauskas carried him to the first title. You know what I mean? Like, no, they didn't win that because the rest of the team wasn't good enough. So,
good points.
On your team, Jordan, we did that. We did an all-time draft here over a year ago. I mean, we could do it again after.
No, that was that. Hey, those those were some cute points, man. Those are fantastic.
Yeah, it's not shitting on I loved, and it's more of you being the Laker fan, and I like to bring you down back to earth with Kobe. But Kobe's 3 from my eyes. Like, I don't put centers in that category. I put big men, post players in one category, and I put guards and swing men in another when I do my rankings. That's just how I look at it, because I can't compare Shaq to Isaiah Thomas. They don't do the same thing on the basketball court, But that's my take on it.
Hey, man, you made some good points. Still don't give a damn. It's Kobe, man. And shit. Guy talking about. Anyway, before we close out the show, how you guys feeling about the playoffs in general? Well, I know Nick's not,
NBA?
Yeah, the NBA playoffs.
And I'll be honest with you, I've been catching the highlights. I haven't been watching the game because a lot of stuff been coming up. But from what I've seen, it's been intriguing. I mean, if you look at it, the Sacramento come up. That's a good story. It's a good story. Good for people to get behind and root for. That's good for the game. The fact that the Bucks won without Giannis
was big too.
That's another thing to talk about. Go ahead.
Here's another good topic, real quick.
Uh-huh.
Here's another good topic. Let's take a look at this.
There are some people, the Lakers are making that run. They get it to 14. You and LeBron have that exchange. There are people out there that say maybe you shouldn't do that with one of the better players in the game. What were you thinking?
I don't care. He's old. You know what I mean? I was waiting for that. I was expecting him to do that game 4, game 5. He wanted to say something when I got my 4th foul. He should have been saying that earlier on. But, I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40. I pride myself on, what I do is defense and taking on any challenge that's on the board.
Motherfucker, they don't play defense. What are you talking about?
Wait, hold on. My man said I don't respect nobody till they drop 40 on me. So I don't respect you when you drop 38, 39.
So like,
come on,
if
man.
I drop 30 on you,
shit.
If LeBron's getting close to 40, the coach is taking your ass off of him.
What kind of ignorant shit is that?
LeBron is closer to 40 in age than he is 40 in points.
If he scored 25 on you, that's too much.
What the fuck is he talking about?
We in a playoff game. If he scores 25 on you, that's too much.
That's already too much, bro.
That's too much. You talking about 40 then? You got to get 15 more points before I start respecting you. What the fuck?
Hey, these new dudes is funny, bro. Hey,
that's why I can't trust ice cream.
Hey, these new basketball players are hilarious, bro. Look, obviously we're not taking anything Dylan Brooks says serious because that's hilarious. Like, bro, come on. You don't respect nobody until they drop 40 on you? Like, what are you talking about? Yo, if a dude drop 39, if a dude drops, like Mel said, you drop 20 on me. Yeah. I'm already like, hey, bro, you better tighten up, bro. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm already thinking about pulling you at 20. Like, I'm already thinking about moving you off the time.
That's most average players are averaging that a night.
You know what Brooks is? He's
bitch?
Going to the school of Draymond. My play don't speak for me, so let me get the hype. He dropped 15 and 12 in the series so far. He shot 5 of 13. You're Draymond. You're an instigator, you're an agitator, and you're trying to bring the attention to yourself because your game can't do it.
He is an antics guy, just like
the next bitch.
He's another. No, Dylan Brooks is another. He is another antics guy.
If you're playing back,
I don't know if you put this up yet, but I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, we put it up.
No, for real. Hey, like he's another antic guy. He is another antic guy. I mean, like he's been in shoving matches and hitting Donovan Mitchell in the nads and
right.
You know, he's done his own pieces. He's done his flopping and antics and you know, trying to. He's another WWE character.
Clout chasing.
He's another WWE character. So
Exactly.
I mean,
you're taking the attention off the team. How about we talk about that they beat the Lakers without Morant?
well, I'm not shocked by that, just because I mean we've
Really?
seen the. No, it's because we've seen the Grizzlies play better without Ja. Ja is because he's so dynamic. He commands the basketball, and so when you remove that, there actually is talented players on that squad. Now you just actually get to see them in more of a team role. So I mean, you know,
Hey, really?
nah, I ain't going that far.
Really?
I ain't going that far.
Yeah,
What I
man, you
will
would
say is,
Imagine being a goddamn GM telling him he got traded, knowing this dude carries weapons with him on the team plane. I'm not telling him. This is where you get a text in the middle of the night. You've been traded.
what I would suggest to Jai is I need you to go see a shooting coach, because I need you to get a mid-range game, because you could avoid it that
Are
far.
we talking about pissing? Are we talking about pistols? Or are we talking about in the game?
On the basketball court. No, I need to clarify that. Yes. Let's clarify that. Hey, John Morant, I need you to get with a shooting coach, and I need you to work on your basketball mid-range game. All right, and I need you to be a better shooter on the basketball court with your mid-range game. All right. So because he could have avoided that fall, because he thinks he could jump over everybody. You're not jumping over Anthony Davis, bro. You're not doing it. And so instead of taking that fall, I need you to practice your basketball mid-range game.
That's interesting.
On the basketball court.
You know what's interesting about that, though, Lamar?
He coming out like Mankind or Cactus Jack.
Nobody's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? No one's talking about the fact he could have avoided that.
He could have avoided that.
Well, I saw it.
Well, I'm gonna give a shout out to Melvin Wall, because because he said it. Then I kind of looked at his take, and I'm like, you know, that's kind of been one of my knocks on Ja, is like, bro, like you got to become a better shooter, and you're not going to be able to leap over everybody. You can't do that. And so
give him Kyrie's mid-range game.
Oh, he'd be dynamic.
Oh my God, he would be the best player in basketball,
without a doubt.
He would be the best. If he had KD's and Kyrie's mid jumper, my God, he would be the best player. And you're talking 35 a night, easy.
Oh,
here's the beauty of it. Because the mid-range game is such a lost art in basketball, he's exploiting a art that is lost, and he would easily, like you said, Nick, his shoot numbers would go up because you're shooting a higher percentage shot instead of jumping behind the 3-point line. Then when the defense wants to try to stop your mid-range game, that's when you go to your athleticism and try to get to the cup, and get past him. Or that's how you set up the easy pick and roll, because you're trying to stop your mid-range.
And like now it's less chance of an injury pulling up instead of getting to the basket, and
less chance of an injury. And guess what? The rest of your team is involved because they're looking at the threat of you. You become more of a facilitator. You still going to get yours because you're John Morant, but that helps you transition your facilitating game. And now you're more of an all-around basketball player on the offensive side, instead of trying to be a highlight reel every time, and you're getting hurt because you're trying to be a highlight reel guy.
Right.
That part of his game, he has to transfer. He has to change that. That's just my opinion, but that's what I would do. I wouldn't trade Ja. So, I mean, you know, AP, you might be selling for a little bit too much 420. So, but I mean, I don't think you do that, dog. But anyway, man, that's man, great show today. Shout out to Tigo for hopping on. Him and the big homie Nick did the mock draft 4.20. And then, you know, we talked a little basketball. You know,
we had a bone sighting.
Yeah, had a bone sighting. Yeah, you know,
we had a neutralized
minute man came in.
That's what we had to do. Do we know if he's okay? Did the military drone strike where he was location? He got out of here quick, man. He heard the Black Claw coming in.
Man, oh my God.
Osama ball lightning.
Hey man, y'all know how it is, man. Go to all the social media platforms on the bottom of the screen. I.O.W. Sports 1 on the Twitter, I.O.W. Sports Network on the Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, the YouTube channel where you can catch all the content. Make sure y'all show some love to the Proud New York Jets fans for the big homie Nick Shine. And hey, continue to keep supporting us, man. Mail's been dropping some great content for the No Name Podcast, getting all his Detroit Lions fans ready for the podcast for the draft next week. And man, hey, be on the lookout. Me and Mac got something brewing for his baseball show within the next couple of months. So we got got some kind of ideas.
Working on a logo.
Yeah, we got some ideas popping, and hey, late night owl show for sure. We got our Thursday night show. Me and MJ gonna shut it down for the week after that, and then hey, just keep tapping in with us, keep supporting us, and please spread the word what we got going on. On behalf of big homie Nick Shine, Detroit Mail, I'm the Wild Card Mind, the whole I.O.W. Sports crew, man. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all Monday, episode 2.
Hi, Mom.